Girls of Reddit, what is the one thing about your significant other that you absolutely adore? When we first met he told me he didn't really like cats, which was a bit of a bummer because I'm a cat person. Even so, when we got our own place, he said absolutely my childhood cat goes with us, he wouldn't dream of separating us. We have since gotten 2 more and he's absolutely a cat person even if he still won't admit it. All 3 of them adore him, and he adores them right back. It's really heartwarming to see him pick up and cradle and coo the kitten, he so obviously adores her. He's worried that he's gonna be a bad dad whenever we get around to having children, but I'm completely confident he'll be amazing. There really is a loving, caring, soft-hearted, kind man under his gruff appearance. He talks about our future. I know this seems like nothing, especially with us getting married and all. But none of the long-term boyfriends I've had have ever included me in their future. When he sleeps, he will sleep talk about how much he loves me. You can ask him any question and he will answer honestly. He will pull me to him in the middle of the night. He always put me first and strives to be a better man for me even though he is already a wonderful man. We are LDR, military, and he always makes sure he tells me good night, or calls me when he could get in trouble. He is the love of my life and I miss him. I never feel insecure with him. He is extremely reliable. He's never stood me up or bailed on me. He shows up to plans on time. He genuinely cares about my well-being. He is very kind, funny, smart and he loves my cats. I love watching him do his hobbies or work on his passions. I'm a jack of all trades and he is a master of a few. Passions aren't my thing but it's something that amazes me when other people have it. He's creative and logical. So that's more than one thing. Whoops. No matter how long it's been since I've seen him, he is always excited to see me. His face lights up and he wraps himself around me until I tell him to let go. But even then he still whines about it. Plus he tells hilarious puns, even when I roll my eyes at him. When he gets really excited about something he'll either send me huge blocks of text that take 5 minutes to read or if we talk face to face he'll talk about cars, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball, sports, whatever game he's playing at the time for nearly 30 minutes barely pausing to breathe. Most of the time I can't get a word in but it doesn't bother me any. And by the end of him talking he always says sorry I'm rambling again. Every time I assure him that I love hearing him talk about things he's interested in, I may not understand some of it but I still love hearing him get excited over his favorite things. His smile when he gets an earnest compliment or when he sequels when he sees something cute. 8 years and I still find it completely adorable. I'm a man and I'm single so I don't know why I am reading this. He's a total dork, we both admit this, but he can rap with Crazy Bone and DMX like the best of them. It's the cutest thing watching him act thug for 4 minutes. You really like him. How clingy he gets when he's tired. Me, I'm just going to get a drink. Him, not allowed, wraps himself around me. Before she leaves for work every morning she wakes me up so I acknowledge the kiss she gives me on my forehead, love it to pieces. He's just sweet. He cuddles with the kiddo, he helps those around him, he goes above and beyond all the time, and he always wished me a good morning and a good evening and a good weekend every day we worked together when we first met, and he always used my name. It was like a seduction by kindness. He's affectionate and open and breaks the mold for bad masculine stereotypes while still retaining some of the good ones. Like walking me to the car and opening my door. I remember my last ex said scornfully, "Yeah, go ahead and ask the next guy to say nice things and see how that works for you." Well, I don't have to ask that, because my fella is generous to a fault. He makes me strive to be a better person and a better partner every day. God, I think it'd be easier to ask what I don't adore about him. I like how soft he is with me if that makes sense. He holds my hand gently, rubs my arm, tells me I'm cute every couple of minutes. He makes me feel like a kitten. How he rubs or messages my back until I fall asleep. It is the one and only relaxing feeling in the world to me. He always makes sure I'm smiling and that I'm okay. He asks whether I have eaten breakfast. Most of the time I forget to eat because I'm so busy with school and stuff. He's on the basketball team and eats a lot more than I do. He has an amazing smile. He is lovely to me and my parents, He is also very kind to my grandmother. My grandmother is 99 and he is her favorite boyfriend of mine that she's met. When it was Valentine's Day he got me a single red rose and Lindt chocolates. Whenever I am sad because of my toxic ex-friends, he comes over and we watch the Netflix shows we always watch together. We've been dating for nearly a year and I love him very much. We are born 4 months apart. He has just turned 16 and I'm turning 16 in 3 months. It's exciting for the both of us, as we're graduating high school late next year. I can't for the life of me make pancakes, but I love them. He taught himself how to make them perfectly and wakes up early on Saturday mornings so that they're ready when I wake up. I appreciate that he took the time and effort to do this for me. A man who cooks and takes care of you. What more can you ask for? He's so freaking sweet. When I first started hanging out in his room just as friends, we'd sit on his bed, and sometimes I'd fake gasp or faint and fall backwards toward the floor, of course planning to catch myself. He'd always catch me. One time, he threw a pillow at me. I said ow, and he immediately asked if I was okay. A pillow. He's just so freaking adorable, gives the best hugs, plays League with me even though the hates the game, knows so much about things I don't, and is overall such a great person. I'd love to have a friend like him even if we weren't dating, but of course I prefer it this way. You just wish he'd let me pay more, because I'm starting to feel really guilty about it. This is far more than one thing now, but he's so honest. He hasn't said I love you yet, we haven't dated for long, because he thinks it isn't like that yet, but he says you make me happy and you make me smile. It's nice to hear that, because that's enough for now, and I'd rather hear a real assessment of how he feels than something fake and pretty. Also, when I'm busy with studying or RSOs, he's very supportive about me not having time to see him. But one week when we were both free, I saw him for hours every single day, and we'd just hug forever. I'd get up to leave, because it was getting late, and he'd pull me back down. I'd get all the way to the door and open it, and he'd pull me back in and close the door. It's nice to know that you're wanted, especially because we normally don't have much time to see each other, and I'm honestly a pretty insecure person. I just like pretty much everything about him and wish we weren't on lockdown, so I could see him again. He is really good to my mom. We sold our house, and got rid of almost everything we had to move in with my now 87-year-old mom 2 years ago who at the time had mild dementia. He treats her like a queen. Brings home fresh flowers, her favorite foods, has driven her to annoying things like getting her taxes done, and hair and nail appointments. Before we moved in, they would have 2 to 3 hour-long phone conversations that would make me jealous. LOL, never mind he's super attractive. I'm biased, never mind he works his ass off. All I know is he loves my mom, and she can be super annoying sometimes. She can't help it, bless her heart. After her asking what day it is for the 43rd time, he answers her with respect, and is kind and funny to her. He's the shit.